Introducing first, from Roselle Park, New Jersey, weighing at 206 pounds, you never know, Tony Rush. Secondly, hailing from the swamps of Secaucus and weighing in at 315 pounds, he is the only true representative of the greatest state in the nation and the only man who knows where Jimmy Hoffa is buried. The Meadowlands Monster! And third, from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, weighing at 218 pounds, you're fucking with a different boy, Jimmy Lloyd! And their opponents, first, from Newbridge, New Jersey, weighing at 209 pounds, this is Thunderheart J. George! Secondly, from the purifying waters of Lake Minnetonka, weighing at 69 sexy megatons, he is the current reigning, defending, Pro Wrestling Magic Heavyweight Champion, Sanchez! And last, but certainly not least, from Calgary, Alberta, Canada, weighing in at 200 pounds even, he is the past, present, and future of professional wrestling, the greatest of all time, Tony fucking Hart!
Well, that's right, ladies and gentlemen, your big six-man tag team match main event is set to begin. We have the Thunderhearts, Teddy Hart and Jay George with Pinky Sanchez.
I usually like to do my talking after because I have an expression in this world, talk is cheap. What you do in the ring, that's your body on the line, the commitment, the dedication, the sacrifice, the agreement. When I decided to be a professional wrestler 24 years ago, that I would not mail it in, no matter what's going on in my real life, the stress, the upcoming pay-per-view, the worries of getting hurt by any one of these killers, and understand, wrestling's the most dangerous sport on the planet, but I have this weird feeling the fans of wrestling have like a magical type of power. They love this business and understand the art of going in there and killing each other, but allowing the guy to get up the next day and have another match so we can do this thing called make you smile, entertain, live our dream, but again, through your time, your free choice, your hard-earned money, which in this world to me is a 9-to-5, traffic, tolls, a whole bunch of bullshit, your kids, your insurance, your mortgage, your utility bill, and still find the time and the money to give us a platform, a stage, a canvas to paint this picture on, and you understand by walking away with a smile, satisfaction guaranteed. Every time Orlando has the balls to run a show in a small building, never make a dollar, but continue to remember what this is all about, which is getting the guys downstairs, experience, a place to get great. Gives me validation and purpose walking around this planet. Nothing's worse than having a dream that failed. And a lot of guys play hockey or soccer or football, and by the time they're 20, there's nothing left for them to do. So wrestling is the only sport that a grown man can still be a kid, live his dream, put it all on the line, and maybe get somewhere someday like AEW, Impact, MLW, maybe even the WWE. But that to me is a step, and it's a stage, and to make that step, you have to have a platform, and Orlando provides that platform for all these guys to grow. Thank you so fucking much, Orlando. You're the man, dude.
Orlando! 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 Orlando!
The gentleman that's watching in heaven, sitting with Andre the Giant and Stu Hart and Macho Man and Davey Boy Smith and Dynamite Kid and Benoit and Guerrero, they're all sitting there having popcorn, having a beer, watching this show right now, because this is what it's all about. This is where it all started. The grassroots system that grows the talent. So I can say, you know what, tonight, guys? I watched Christian have his very first match, the Canadian kid, 16 years old, or 15 or 16 years old. He got to come in here and live his dream. He got to make his dad happy. He got to honor his mother, who's in heaven, sitting with them with a huge smile on her face. Hardy put $5,000 in my pocket so she could be trained. I've had a bunch of people help her out, like Bruno and Pinky, Orlando, Smiley, all the guys that run the school Wednesday or Thursday or Sunday. But you guys have all contributed to this package. This package is all about one thing, a smile on your face. We have no dream without you guys. And now we have a dream, and the best part about a dream is coming true. We get to live that dream off your back, off your sweat, off your love. We never forget it. We want to make sure you guys understand how much we appreciate you. I'm going to shut my mouth and get up to what I'm supposed to do, is just kicking your guys' ass all over the place and making sure we get our hands raised. This is my man, G. George. He's been given the name Thunder Hart for a reason. He's a new member of the Hart Foundation, and he's coming to Florida, hopefully getting on TV with MLW or NXT or AEW. His time's coming now. Jimmy Lloyd is the best fucking independent wrestler I've ever been in the ring with, and his time's coming too. So guys, please, bear with us. Appreciate the magic, and come back over for a hug after the show. You guys are my family. There's enough people in the room that every motherfucker better get a hug and a kiss from me after the show's over. God bless you.
Wrestling! 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 Wrestling!
All right, ladies and gentlemen, well, after that rousing speech from the legend Teddy Hart, your big six-man tag team match is ready to start. Jay George, Tony Rush starting things off for their respective teams. Here we go. The bell sounds and we are on.
Young Lloyd started things off in this one, Jimmy.
Just the one count there. Tony Rush able to rush his way out of that one.
Early standoff from Jay George and Tony Rush.
Maybe going for a figure four possibly. Yeah, looks like he's trying to get it in there. That tension on the knee, definitely not what Jay George wants focusing on at the moment. Luckily he was able to get out, trying for a, oh, beautiful.
Kneeling figure four that was. Sanchez had
Wrestling indeed, ladies and gentlemen. Tony Rush now floating over into the headlock. Locking down on those ears, getting that cartilage really throbbing with pain. Oh, oh my goodness, reverse key lock. But Tony Rush, no stranger to the reversal of the submission as well, but Jay George able to float over into another headlock. Tony Rush able to get a roll up, but only a one count there. Jay George able to hold on to that headlock. Rush able to handstand out of it. Absolutely glorious back and forth between the two members of their individual teams. Getting that wrist control is Jay George now floating through. Tony Rush trying to find his way out, but to no avail. Leg under control from Jay George onto Tony Rush.
this whole series right now, Jimmy's a little bit reminds me of...
Jay George trying to reach out for the ropes, but Tony Rush not letting him. Over to the cover, too. Oh, about a 1.5 count there.
Reminds me of Eddie Guerrero. And how they...
Wrist control now by Jay George as Tony Rush pops up and reverses it into the wrist lock. As you can see, that bend of the elbow, Jay George trying to keep Rush close so he can do just that and hit that elbow right off the side of the face. All 5 knuckles gracing the face of Tony Rush there, following it up by a uppercut.
And both men
J. George sending him in, up and over. Nobody home for J. George there. Tony Rush now floating through. Head scissors takeover, and he pops up, missing the drop kick. J. George is ready to party here in this main event.
And the standoff.
J. George now tagging in the legend, Teddy Hart. Tony Rush tagged out and tagged
And some sportsmanship.
Jimmy Lloyd. A little sportsmanship there. A lot of respect in this ring. A lot of respect in this building for all 6 competitors.
Now Teddy Hart with wrenching the arm and the wrist of Jimmy Lloyd.
Hammerlock from behind. Teddy Hart, one of the best to ever lace up his boots, up against one of the biggest rising stars in independent wrestling, Jimmy fucking Lloyd.
Using all the knowledge Teddy Hart has seen from
Teddy Hart has been in there with everybody. You can run down the list of the best superstars. Anybody that you consider on your Mount Rushmore of pro wrestling. At the end of the day, Teddy has been in there with everybody. But when you're in there with Jimmy Lloyd, you're fucking with a different type of boy.
It is safe to say that half of the
Rolling
WWE
over
roster,
now.
and even the WWE roster has been in the ring.
Head and ankle lock, just building both of them, just stretching them out. No one throws together a submission like Teddy Hart, I'll tell you what.
And at the same time, Jimmy fucking Lloyd has been in with the who's who of
Suffering!
has been in the ring with the who's who, the Mount Rushmore of deathmatch wrestlers. So he has the same amount of experience just in the deathmatch.
Absolutely. Jimmy Lloyd has been in there against everybody from the deathmatch side of things, but also Teddy Hart. I once saw Teddy Hart in GCW go 55 minutes with current AEW star Joey Janela. One of the greatest matches I've ever seen live.
Really.
Now taking control of the hand, a little bit of joint manipulation, and an elbow drop right onto the shoulder.
And Joey Janela may not be but that is nothing on his wrestling skill.
Oh my, another big elbow drop from Teddy Hart onto the shoulder of Jimmy Lloyd. Teddy Hart, an expert in being able to just dissect his opponents and dissect a body part. Once he zeroes in on something, you are in trouble.
And that's that dungeon training, Jimmy. Stu Hart would teach all of his students to focus on one body part. It doesn't matter what body part you focus on, as long as you focus on it. And just keep attacking, hammering it.
Test of strength now, dead center of the ring. Teddy Hart and Jimmy Lloyd. Both trying to size each other up. And Jimmy Lloyd just absorbing the blow so he can get that wrist control there. Just wrenching away on the wrist and now grabbing. Oh, wait, but Teddy's on the move. Teddy is on the move. Float over, bounce, up and down. And a float through throw.
Not getting all of that, but it's still enough.
He got enough to get Jimmy Lloyd over, just to create that separation. Because if you give Teddy Hart even a second, his whole game plan will change. And you might be playing chess, but he's also playing Monopoly at the same time.
And not just regular chess, Jimmy, right? That is some 3D chess.
That is some 3D chess. Absolutely. Now going back up, popping, unlocking. Running and rambling around, Teddy Hart! Excellent move! Constantly thinking the game is changing every second of every minute with Teddy Hart in the ring. Uh-oh. 2 of Pro Wrestling Magic's premier champions.
Many people have criticized Sanchez for being our heavyweight champion, and he's not technically a heavyweight. That does not account for his fighting spirit and his toughness and his craziness.
If we were counting in his weight, if we were accounting for his heart and his spirit, Pinky Sanchez would be weighing in the thousands. But right now he's in there with the Meadowlands Monster, the current Dark Arts champion of Pro Wrestling Magic, and he's got the weight, the reach, and possibly some would say the strength advantage, but that speed of Pinky Sanchez definitely coming into play as he tags J. George right back into the ring.
Plus, Sanchez has the power of Pazuzu behind him.
Absolutely. Summoning the power of Satan himself. Thunder Kid, J. George.
Not only the Thunder Kid, but the Thunder Heart as well.
Absolutely. Big time chop from the Meadowlands Monster, who's only. The thing about the Meadowlands Monster that I've seen calling so many of his matches is the more you hit him, it just seems to piss him off more. Meadowlands Monster catching J. George, not an easy stat. And a big time world's strongest slam type slam. Nobody home for the leg drop.
It seems everything pisses off the Meadowlands Monster, even simply wearing a shirt, as Lucky Lawrence knows very well.
Taking the powder after that one. Tony Rush coming back in, going one-on-one with J. George again. Snap there. Kick to the back, right in the dead center of the spine.
Tony Rush, of course, no stranger to the Richfield Park Knights of Columbus. He wrestles for many different promotions in the Knights.
Sending his head, J. George sending Tony Rush's head directly into the top turnbuckle there. Dragon screw!
I know Teddy Hart said J. George is about to have tryouts in MLW, NXT, and even AEW, but I'm surprised we don't see more of him here.
Well, when he's been over in China, he's been over in the Orient and down in Florida, across the country, up in Canada. J. George is always so busy. Every time you get to see him in this building or any building, you should definitely pick up a ticket because it's always going to be a special moment. But El Presidente now, deep arm wringer, working on that shoulder, that wrist, trying to separate the arm in every individual junction. Kick to the back of the leg. And just more and more pressure being added on to that shoulder, that elbow region.
Actually having to go for the eyes of Sanchez just to get him off of the arm wringer in between the
J. George
ropes.
now holding Tony Rush into the corner. Floating through with the kick to the chest. Here comes Teddy Hart. Picture perfect. Up, and he's gone! Delayed vertical suplex.
Pun very much intended to rushing to Tony Rush's head.
Just gonna make that exact point, Mikey. Teddy now dropping the sole of his feet right down on Lion Salt. Just a 2 count.
I heard many people call Tony Rush a modern day Teddy Hart, or a younger version of Teddy Hart.
Well, there only is one Teddy Hart. I know from experience, just being lucky enough to be able to call some of Teddy Hart's matches. Delayed neck breaker into the. Oh, wait a second. Look at that key lock.
With the arm wrench at the same time, that is going in 2 separate areas.
That's it. 3. He's also got him under the back of the neck there.
That's right.
So many points of contact. So many unbelievable ways to hurt his opponent. Does Teddy Hart know? Teddy Hart's been doing this over 20 years. There's no beautiful double underhook suplex by Teddy Hart. When you're in there with Teddy Hart, you have to expect everything and expect the worst too, because it's gonna hurt. Springboard moonsault! Unbelievable 2 count! Tony still being able to find his way from kicking out of all of this impact.
No pun intended, but that just shows the heart of Tony Rush not being able to tap out of 3 separate submissions in one, and of course kicking out of the springboard moonsault.
Wait a second. Teddy Hart telling the referee to check his arm. What another moonsault right across the back of the neck, but somehow, some way, Tony Rush was able to get his shoulder up before the count of 3. My God.
How is Tony Rush still in this is beyond me.
Like you were saying, that's the fighting spirit. That's the heart. After hearing that speech from Teddy Hart, that must have put a fire under the ass of Tony. Here comes Pinky Sanchez.
You almost think Teddy Hart is almost regretting the next because it gave so much.
Now he's just trying to pull that knee out of its socket. Sadistic leg ringer there. Sadistic mentality of El Presidente Sanchez. Just throwing that ankle and that knee down into the mat. Now working on the shoulder again. Just a lot of points of contact there for Tony Rush. Just it must be in a world of hurt, Mikey.
Sanchez definitely showing the
Oh my
to Tony
goodness.
Rush. And now such a disrespectful, simple kick right to the push up.
Just a 2 count there, Mikey. Sorry to interrupt you, but just a 2 count there.
That is your job, Jimmy.
Head first into the top turnbuckle. Tony Rush, how he's still managing to find his way to his feet is nothing short of amazing, nothing short of astounding.
He's definitely gonna make a tag ASAP.
Absolutely.
Doesn't matter if it's to Jimmy fucking Lloyd or to the
Tony Rush is an absolute world of suffering here as he's down on his back. Forearm shot to the ear. That'll throw off your equilibrium. Got him up now. Oh, but Tony Rush reverses it somehow. Jawbreaker.
That'll definitely make the room start spinning.
Maybe going for a German suplex. Jay George trying to fight out of it. To no avail. German release suplex sends Jay George into another stratosphere.
Now, if I'm Tony Rush, Jimmy, I would definitely be going for a tag. Yes, you have Jay George down, maybe for the count, but at the same time, you're not having enough.
The monster is in. The monster is angry. Get the fuck out of the way if you can. Belly to back suplex.
Adam Payne, Casanova Valentine, Johnny Silver, Josh Briggs have all felt the monster, and now Jay George the exact same amount of rage.
You got to believe that Evan Myers is somewhere watching this match as well.
Watching this match, Evan watching this in right
Big boot under the jaw of Jay George.
now. I gotta ask you, why do you want to match with this mental anguish? It does not make sense to me.
Not a lot of the things Evan Myers does that make sense, but right now, Meadowlands Monster in firm control of Jay George, who is on the Dream Street somewhere here in Richfield Park, New Jersey. Unbelievable chop. The Meadowlands Monster with all that power and that strength, getting that boot, those long legs of his getting out under the jaw.
Lucky Lawrence and I know exactly how those chops feel from the Meadowlands Monster in our training sessions.
Oh dear, please don't remind me I'm getting PTSD.
Here comes Jimmy Lloyd. Big kick into the center of the ribcage.
Lloyd low for a blow on Jay George. Jay George is stunned for the moment.
Scoop and a slam by Jimmy fucking Lloyd. Little bit of swagger in that elbow drop. Don't mind that at all. 2 count.
Well said, Jimmy fucking Ryan.
Thank you very much, Lawrence. I appreciate that.
No problem, anytime.
Lucky Lawrence getting back here on the commentary table after a brief hiatus on the ring crew there. Now, the referee's got to make sure that Jimmy Lloyd's arm doesn't slip up onto that windpipe there. Want to try and keep everything above board here in Violence and Suffering, of course.
I can't tell you how many thumbtacks I pushed out of my shoe right now.
I'm sure. Dropping down to his ass there with the drop kick.
Bicycle kick. Jawbreaker, I believe that was.
Yeah, jawbreaker. Thank you, I couldn't get there. Then Jimmy Lloyd following it up with a bicycle kick right to the face.
Jimmy Lloyd tagging in the Meadowlands Monster.
Monster reapplying that mouth guard. Teddy Hart now getting in the referee's face, but opening it up for the other team to jump Jay George. Pinky Sanchez, they gotta watch there. They're only making Jay George absorb more punishment as the newest member of the New Hart Foundation is finding himself in the wrong part of town here in Richfield Park, New Jersey. Here comes Tony Rush, rushing in with that shoulder tackle.
It almost makes you wonder for one night only. It's also the Pazuzu Foundation. Sanchez is on it as well.
The heart and soul of Violence and Suffering. Teddy Hart, Pinky Sanchez, Jay George. Jay George able to make it in, and here comes Pinky Sanchez.
Champion versus champion once again in this match.
Elbow to the jaw, Tony Rush misses. Another elbow. Forearm shiver. Big boot to Tony Rush. Dragon screw. Knocking out the leg of the Meadowlands Monster. You got to chop down the tree from the bottom. Jimmy Lloyd now taking the brunt of the punishment. Wheelbarrow type situation.
We mentioned GCW.
Half and half, possibly. No. Here comes Sanchez. Up, floating over and around. Tornado DDT! Satellite tornado DDT. Here comes the legend.
We mentioned GCW earlier, Jimmy Lloyd.
Wait a second. Oh no! Canadian Destroyer!
An assistant Canadian Destroyer.
Give him some reggae on that one!
Teddy Hart going after the monster and Tony Rush.
How is Jimmy Lloyd getting up after that assistant Canadian Destroyer?
Wait a second. Possibly going for another Canadian Destroyer from the top rope! How is Teddy Hart capable of doing these things that he does? Somehow, Jimmy Lloyd able to kick out after two gigantic Canadian Destroyers. Teddy Hart is in fuego here in Richfield Park, New Jersey.
Wait a second, what is Teddy Hart thinking now? He has Tony Rush and
Double
Jimmy Lloyd.
chop.
He's
Straight, close-fisted.
Oh,
Wait
no.
a second.
Oh, no.
Wait a second.
Sanchez and Taylor doing the smart thing, taking out the eyes on.
Oh my God! Slinging DDT pile driver combination from the apron.
That spikes and that's the middle. Oh, no.
Monster with a stun in the rope.
Wait a minute. No way.
Hart is
No way.
Oh, no.
Catches it. Into a suspended DDT from the top.
Oh,
Teddy Hart is unfucking believable in this ring tonight.
Teddy Hart has spiked all three of his opponents in this match.
Bruce Lee back fist from the sexual spider monkey.
On this succulent Sunday.
Climbing up to the top. Backflip into the satellite DDT.
God!
Nicky Sanchez getting some reggae in that one, ladies and gentlemen.
Tope con hilo.
Unbelievable. Pinky Sanchez taking out the Netherlands Monster and Tony Rush. Tony Rush being brought into the ring.
Wait a second. Wait a second.
This. Oh no.
Packaged up. Hammerlock DDT suspended.
Dear God, shit on that.
Wait a second, what is J. George doing?
J. George now.
Submission on the sorts. He has to tap.
He tapped out. He tapped out. The legendary team of Pinky Sanchez.
Here are your winners. The result of the submission. Thunder Hart, J. George, Sanchez, and Teddy Hart.
What a match. Unbelievable. Here at Violent Suffering, we'd like to thank you for coming to the show, for coming to support this fundraiser for Pete